Everyone, today I have a story about, this is pretty much close calls. Like, this is pretty much the last close call, but pretty much a part two, because, I have multiple, close call stories. So, on this day, I didn't really have my own wax. So, you can probably guess that, your boy, wanted some wax. I'm not, or at this time, I've been mildly addicted to weed before, but I've never been extremely fiendish for it. But on this particular day, my friend, I'm gonna call her Ashley, she was pretty low on wax, but this day, from a driver, she had picked up a fresh new Muha. It was GDP, Granddaddy Purple. It was one of those shitty, it was very obviously a fake Muha, okay? I'm not gonna lie and say that shit was real. That shit was counterfeit. I'm not sure if it was the good kind of counterfeit or if it was made in somebody's fucking bathtub counterfeit or somebody's garage, but I mean it was pretty decent quality. So what I did was I had a leftover a little, I want to say a 10 sack of bud, or it might have been flour. I'm not really sure. It was indica. So I gave her that sack, and then she passed me the GDP Muha. So me and my friend Chris, we walk off to this more private, secluded area where nobody can see us. In this band room, there's this pocket where these doors are, where it's kind of just this little hidden area, I guess. So we go over there, I take a hit of it. It tastes good as hell, it tastes very grape juicy, very tasty. And then I give it to Chris, and then he takes a hit of it, and he's like, damn bro, this shit's fucking extravagant. So I kind of just laugh, and I'm like, yeah man, I know, right? This is some good shit. We keep taking hits, and then me and him get pretty fucking high off of this. And then we go back over to Ashley and we give it back to her. And then me and Chris just go to PE. We go to PE high as fuck. And it was funny. And PE was first period. So after PE, me and Chris came back out. And I don't really remember the story completely perfectly. Probably because I was fucking high. But I remember after first period at our school, we had this thing where it's a break, a 10-minute break before second period. We don't get any, we don't get more of this throughout the day. This is just a one-time thing after first period every day, and then never again. Which, if they did it again, that would make the school day longer. So, it's whatever. But, during this break, it's kind of just me and Chris chilling, because, after we get out of PE, we have, a period of time before, the actual bell rings for, everybody else to get out of their class, because the PE kids get, let out, earlier. So me and Chris just have our backpacks. We're chilling, at the spot, at the band room and shit. And then, after the bell rings and people come out of class, Ashley has her class in this it's this chunk of classrooms that's really far out in the distance. I've talked about this in the first close call story time, where me, Max, and Chris were in the bathroom of that chunk of classrooms that's really isolated from the rest of the school. But yeah, she had her class there, so it took her 5 minutes. She comes back, she pulls out the Granddaddy Perp Muha, and I know I was hitting it, and she was hitting it, and we were passing it back and forth. I don't really entirely remember if Chris was hitting it. I know at the time he didn't really have his own, but Chris isn't really a fiend like some of the other motherfuckers that I know. So after we're done hitting this shit, I noticed that I am really, really, really fucking high. My eyes, I don't even know how, but they didn't get red. They were just, kind of dried out and, glossy looking, which was good. But all I know is that I was, almost catatonic, because, I was, just out of it. I could barely form a thought. I could barely speak. Whenever, I would look at somebody, it was, my vision would, zoom in on them, and I would, almost forget their name, but almost not forget their name. It was really, really, really weird. But so I go to my English class for second period, And when I go in, everybody's fucking looking at me, like my face. They're looking at my face like Christmas lights. Not like amusing Christmas lights, though, like Christmas lights of terror. As if, I don't know, they were looking at me like some scary shit. So I was like, damn, what is there, like a fucking dick growing out of my forehead or something? So I just pull out my phone. I open up my camera. I look at myself in my camera, and my eyes are so fucking red. I don't know, it just took a second for it to kick in. My eyes were so fucking red. Like, whatever fucking counterfeit Muha Ashley had, they made my eyes red. So my teacher, even though he's a fucking dickhead, in order to protect his privacy, I'm just gonna call him Mr. Alf. Mr. Alf, like, looked at me, and then he just chuckled, and then he went back to his seat. Now, Mr. Alf is a dickhead, but, you know, he didn't really, like, call security to like escort me, or he knew damn well exactly what was going on. This dude's like in his fucking 60s, and like one time he even like cracked a comment in the middle of class. Now this wasn't my period, but allegedly Chris told me that he was like, oh, I don't use cocaine, I just really like the smell of it, or some shit like that. But I get out of English, and this is where the story gets important. Fast forward to, let's say, I'm just going to fast forward straight to lunch. This is after fourth period, so everybody's already at the spot behind the band room, and, you know, they got the Muha, and they're, you know, passing it around. The thing is, though, is none of my friends really have any good hiding places for their shit. Now, Jonathan, he's from one of my other stories, literally my most recent story. He had Nick on him, you know, he vapes, you know. Personally, I think vaping is pretty fucking weird and, like, pretty shitty, you know. I'll be real, I've tried it a few times, it fucking sucks. It doesn't taste good, it doesn't feel good, it just makes me feel fucking pissed off and shit. He had one in his pocket, but we see a security guard just fucking mean mugging our shit, just fucking staring at us. And like my friends, very obviously, they see the security guard, but they just don't care. They're not being careful. They're not fucking no smoking that shit. They're not like zeroing it. They're just like breathing. Well, they're like trying to zero it, but they're not trying hard enough. Like they're breathing out like fog that like the security guard can see. So security keeps like leaning over in our direction, even though he's like 200 yards away. He can still see us. We see another security car pull up, and they drive up, and in my head I'm just like, oh fuck. I know I didn't have anything on me because I was like fucking a broke boy at this time, and you know, my fucking lazy ass dealers couldn't get me any shit because he's too fucking lazy. You know, I wanted a cake, but he couldn't get me one, so I was completely empty pocketed, unless you're considering my fucking phone as something. But still, they can look at my eyes and tell that they're red and fucking call my parents or some shit. So obviously I'm like kind of a little bit freaked out. Security and like a security cart pulls up, and then that same security guard walks up, and they're just staring at us, and we all just start like talking about something else, like trying to act natural. Some of my friends are looking extremely suspicious and like walking away and stuff, and it's just really bad. When security gets to us, after a while of just them like awkwardly staring at us and shit, I guess they didn't really have enough evidence to like, I guess, search us, or I don't know, because I don't even know if they really need like a whole lot of evidence to be able to like do that, but maybe they just felt a little bit lazy today because they kind of just looked at us and they're like, I don't know, are they smoking or are they not? I really don't know, because, you know, around this time it was like still pretty cold outside. It's cold outside right now, but because, you know, like you can see your breath outside when it's like cold and shit. And the security guard just looks at us, like looks at all of us, just makes eye contact, fucking mean mugging all of us, and he goes, don't be doing no punk stuff. And then he gets in the car with the other security guard and he drives off. I don't know. It's maybe so those like little Girl Scouts can go make out or whatever, you know, I don't know. But we all were shitting our pants, and we were kind of just glad nothing happened to us, you know. I mean, shit, if security wanted a hit, I'm sure Ashley would have given him one, because, you know, she's cool like that. But I'm really fucking glad we didn't get caught and we didn't get fucking our asses swatted with a paddle in the dean's office, because, you know, that would hurt. Also, I'm sorry if my mic quality is really terrible. You know, it's not the best. It's not the most crisp. It's not the most crisp. It's kind of ass. And, you know, if the gameplay's shitty too, because, you know, I'm not the best. My bad, but, I'm trying to make it the best I can for you guys and, try to make good quality. But yeah, this is Close Calls, part 2. This definitely won't be the last one, because trust me, I have a lot. But, yeah, that's going to be it for today. And, I'll maybe try to post another one today, or, I'll try to do one tomorrow. I know I didn't do one yesterday, or I'll do one the day after, maybe. I don't know. I'll see, and I don't know. I'll see y'all in the next video.